Wilkerson, Troxel, Caps, and Tony Pedregon on the line. Wilkerson and Caps trying to get back in. John?
And down in the pits with Dale Worsham getting ready to go out there. Number 2 in that first session. I mean, you know, you guys are picking up this 4 wide. How do you like that new tree and all?
The new tree's great. It went up there. You know, it's very clear. It's very easy to understand, and I think it's a great addition to the 4 wide racing.
So what about the car, though? You and Larry both are running pretty well here. You guys going to dominate this weekend?
I wouldn't say dominate, but you know, this team is a very strong team. You know, we've ready, and it was exciting to go out there. Let's go down the track, and I'm sure all the rest of the cars are shooting for us, and they're coming. All
right, Dale, thanks. We'll let you get going. No, you got to get out there. Let's go down to Gary Gerald.
Well, Robert Hite climbed out of that race car, and a big smile on his face, as you might well expect. How nervous were you, considering that we might have weather that could impact rounds 3 and 4 of qualifying?
Oh, it's big time. You know, actually the first run was the most important, and then you know it puts your backs against the wall for the second run. But you know, you just leave Jimmy Prock alone. It's like John always says, if you learn to shoot pool drunk, you always shoot pool drunk. Jimmy races aggressive. That's the way he does it. That's why this Auto Club Ford is #1 right now in points.
Paul, I don't think I've ever heard it explained quite like that.
Yeah, it may go down in the history books. Well, here's the situation now. You've got Melanie Troxel in 15th. Brian Thiel on the bump with a 477. In this group on the line right now, Tim Wilkerson and Ron Capps are both trying to get in to the funny car field. Let's go to the stat guy.
Of course, Melanie Troxel, the last time we came to Charlotte last fall, won our only race, her first race in Pro Mod. She'll be having a new teammate when we go to Houston, Leah Pruitt, who comes out of the nostalgia ranks. But Melanie's going to switch to a turbo car, which has been the rage this year in Pro Mod. Mike, you like those Pro Mod cars?
I love the Pro Mod cars, but they're talking about the turbo cars coming in this season, but it's been a nitrous car that won the first 2 races so far.
Well, that rumble begins once again as 4 more face the line. Pretty critical for Ron Capps and Tim Wilkerson. Pedregon first to finish his burnouts. He's on his way back. Tim Wilkerson the last to come out. And now the timing into the staging is what gets so critical here in 4 wide qualifying and in racing. Adjusting as well to the brand new lights.
Paul just had an opportunity to talk to John Medlin to find out what went wrong in that first session over in lane number 2 for Ron Capps. He said the Knappa car was actually on a very good pass. Good numbers till about 3 seconds into that pass, and they broke the fuel pump drive shaft, and all that fuel pressure went away. They've obviously replaced that. Now ask him, how nervous are you about lane 3 right now? He says, I'm nervous about every pass.
And for Tony Pedregon and his team with Jimmy Walsh, remember, they did not make it out for a semifinal attempt at Las Vegas, our last event, and they were greatly frustrated because they just ran out of time. As it turns out, they had to change a power plant. The mags were out of phase. The 4 minutes that it took to correct that mistake cost them. They missed getting to the line by roughly 1.5 to 2 minutes. They were very disappointed. But he says that as a result, we've gone through all of our product and inventory since. We're going to make absolutely sure we don't have another mistake like that in the future.
That was a heartbreaker. See who that's actually going to help. The 411, that'll put Wilkerson into the field in 5th. 411 with a 9, that gets Capps in there at 6. Tony Pedregon's going to stand on the 11th place. And we go on board with Tim Wilkerson.
What you're not going to see here is right about here, Melanie's crossing right behind Tim Wilkerson as she got her loose and went from lane 2 into lane number 1. Now watch lane number 2 here. And watch Melanie spin the tires, and whoa, that car really rotated around. But luckily, Tim Wilkerson was making a nice run, that 411, because Melanie was actually out ahead before she spun the tires, but then Tim Wilkerson obviously drove away with that great 411 pass.
Go to Gary Gerald.
With Tim Wilkerson, you were telling me a bit earlier today that it's been giving you fits trying to adapt to some new clutch parts and pieces that you said are a little more aggressive than what you're used to dealing with. Can you elaborate?
Well, it's just the coefficient of friction. Said we had Tasca dyno them for me, and they're a lot different than what I used to have, and I'm just really getting I'm having a hard time handling it. But we just keep backing it up and backing it up and backing it up, and it keeps going faster and faster and faster. So good, run some good speed there, 307. So the Ford Mustang, it's running good. Just hope that we can run a little better. I think we can run some O's. We're just sneaking up on it.
Looks good.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.